Hi, Gerhard Bloom, once again, looking at the tyranny and the delusions of the social justice movement. So, some delusions. I spoke of the Tic Toc phenomenon, of people praising Osama bin Laden and his letter to America. This gets even crazier, right? There's a, Tic Toc influencer. She has over 400,000 followers, Megan Rice. Well, starting October 20th, yes, in the immediacy of the Hamas attacks and the barbarism therein, she decides to crack open the Quran. And a couple of days ago, she does a shahada, right? Professes her belief in Islam and Muhammad as the final prophet. And why might she be so inspired? Because of the Palestinians' belief, its faith. Right? Rock solid support for Islam, right? Notwithstanding the fact that there's not a Muslim country in the world that has freedom, democracy, free speech, individual rights. Not a single Muslim country in the world. No. But anyways, it is absolutely crazy. Her video where she, comes out of the closet wearing a hijab, 5.5 million views, right? 5.5 million views. Of course, it's stupid young college girls watching this stuff. And once you make this profession, you say this shahada 3 times, you're in. You can't leave, right? The penalty for leaving Islam is death. Whether you're born into this fascist death cult or you convert to it. Can't leave. It is Islam. It's the fastest growing religion in Canada. Fastest growing religion in Europe. And that's predominantly because of the mass of immigration. But there have been, local converts to Islam in Canada, in the United States, and who've gone on after professing their faith in Islam, yes, going on to commit terrorist attacks. This is awful. On the other side of the equation, a bright spot, in the United States, Christianity is the fastest growing religion. Outstanding. And a remarkable turnaround, much like my conversion from atheism to Judeo-Christianity. Ayaan Hirsi Ali, a woman for whom I have great admiration, her books are excellent. She has converted to Christianity. She was a Muslim apostate. Of course, there's a death penalty on her. Got everywhere she goes, she's under the threat of death. Converted to Christianity from atheism, from Islam. She renounced Islam. Wrote Infidel. Should read that book. In addition to mine, of course. And her most recent book, Pray, right? About the rape crisis in Europe. I discuss it in my book. I wrote about it before her book came out. It's a book-length study. Rapes have been declining for decades in Europe. And then dramatic rise with the influx of Muslim immigration, right? Because the treatment of women in Muslim countries is abhorrent. And a young American woman converts to Islam because she's stupid, right? And I've spoken about this before, right? The West is engaged on a war in itself. It's, the entire education system, the university system, condemning, whiteness and white oppression and slavery, living on stolen lands and all sorts of nonsense. This young woman, black, perhaps she doesn't know that the Arab slave trade with black Africans was much, much worse. Taking slaves from sub-Saharan Africa, dragging them into the Arab world, the death rates were much higher, and castrated the men. That's why you don't have a lot of black people living in the Islamic world, right? Other than recent. No. They were castrated. The men were castrated, and more whites were taken as slaves North Africa than blacks, slaves brought to North America. That is a fact. So Islam does not have a good reputation or history with respect to slavery. No. Millions of black slaves. There's black slaves being sold in Muslim countries today. But the West has ceased to believe in itself. And so, in the absence of some, religion and orientation of the world, people are converting to Islam, and it is awful. It is a disaster for the West. Anyways, thanks so much for your time and attention. And please do check out my book, Deconstructing Social Justice, available on Amazon. Not important because I wrote it. I wrote it because the issues could not be more important. Thanks so much for your time and attention. Bye-bye now.